I'm Kim.
I'm Millie.
And we're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. It is a beautiful day here in Eastern Washington, and we went on a lovely hike after church. Do you remember the name of the place we went? Called Snow Mountain Ranch. And what's it kind of known for? Wildflowers. So we were able to see lots of different flowers that are just starting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really pretty.
Not beautiful here.
Not beautiful there in Western Washington.
Nope. Typical spring.
Is it rainy or just cloudy?
It was kind of spitty. Like stuff was wet when I went out and took garbage out, but it's not raining hard. It's just kind of gray and gloomy. Gray and gloomy.
Sunny and blue skies here.
There's a 50% chance of rain. And then, yeah. I mean, this is why people ask me why I don't like spring.
Yeah.
Because you get one nice day and then you get 5 crapola ones.
Yeah, we haven't had as much wind yet as we usually do, but
we usually get a lot of wind.
March is usually pretty windy, but it hasn't been too bad. We had a lot of wind earlier in the winter, so maybe we just happened to get it early. I bet
last year. I feel like last year the girls couldn't even like go out and play.
Yeah, last year's spring was kind of miserable. I felt like it was so windy. I couldn't garden.
Especially in April, it was really.
So maybe it'll get windy again. Maybe that will happen again this year. So
just spitzy here, just spitzy.
If you're new watching, we are a 3-generation YouTube channel, Flosstube, where we like to talk about our cross stitch, but we also chit chat about books and weather and caring for aging parents and
my life.
So we're glad you're joining us today. Yeah, that's all I got about that.
Sometimes there's 3 girls with Millie. I mean, there's 3 of them, but today there's just Millie because she's our hardcore crafter.
I have 3 daughters, but only Millie consistently cross stitches or knits.
Yeah.
She has a lot to share.
Wow, good job.
I didn't write down my little list of what we usually do. Chat. We chat a little at the beginning.
Talk about weather. We talk about
the weather. We talk about the weather usually because we're
my dad. Talk about my dad.
Yeah, we can talk about your dad.
Well, we have. So my dad is a widower with a new partner, and I'm getting ready to move him into a retirement community. And let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart. It would be easier if it was just him, or if it was him and my mom. But it's him and somebody he's not married to. So we have 2 families.
Other family dynamics.
We're a blended family, but we're not very blended because I don't really know them very well. You know, we've gotten together, but they do care about my dad, and I do really like their mom Irene. I mean, they're very good for each other. They're very sweet together. They make each other happy. I want them happy, but sorry, my doorbell ring went off. But there's differing opinions on what would be the best situation for them. My concern is that they're not really listening to their mother about what she wants. So yeah, it's just been, and so, you know, this is the other thing. I cleaned my mom's house out when she passed away a lot, like most of her personal effects, a lot of her crafting stuff, but I haven't, and then they've kind of weeded through. I mean, my sister and I cleaned out all of her dish collections and her jewelry and all that, which was huge. I mean, that took months to do, right? And then things kind of settled down, and we kind of helped my dad kind of reorganize his rec room, which also became this new gal's sewing room because she moved in with my dad. And so I haven't really gone through a lot of his stuff. And, you know, luckily he wasn't the decorator, and he doesn't have a lot of sentimental attachment to things. So that's making it easier. But he has his own bedroom, and it's just stacked with stuff. You know, some of it was my mom's stuff still, like some of her crafting stuff. I found 4 ornaments under his bed.
Of course you did.
My mom made ornaments when I was a child. So anyway, I spent yesterday helping him sort through some of that stuff and figure out what he would want to take with him if he, when he moves. And so I'm not done, but it's so tiring. And then I'm trying to go through the same rigmarole at my own house. So it's just, it's cutting into my crafting time, people. My cross stitch time is being severely clipped here. Because if I'm either doing that or I'm too tired to after doing that.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I told Sarah, I want him happy and I want him safe. And that's my goal for him.
Yeah. The important part.
And his attitude towards it all has changed 100% from a year ago. Like he's definitely willing to do what it's going to take. I also think, Sarah, I didn't tell you this because I got him to get on a anxiety medication. And he started that a week and a half ago. And I actually asked him yesterday, are you taking that medicine, Dad? Yeah, but I don't think it's doing any good. It's just this tiny little pill. I don't even know how. I said, well, Dad, my medications are tiny too, but they do work. It's like, you don't have to have a big pill. And, you know, I do think it was helping because things were pretty chaotic yesterday. And Irene, his partner, is in a skilled nursing facility right now because she had COVID and had some other complications. You know, she's fine. She's going to get out, but she needed to get her strength back. So she's not with him right now. She called him like 3 or 4 times and she's upset because she feels like I think her daughters aren't listening to her and she doesn't want, and she's feels like she has to keep my dad in the loop and she doesn't want to give him bad news and blah, blah, blah. And so she's crying. And I have to say, he was pretty okay yesterday, where I think a couple of weeks ago, he would have been very agitated. It would have been very hard for him to focus on what we were doing. And so I think that
The tiny little pill is making it.
tiny little pill is doing a big thing.
It doesn't take a lot to help us function.
He drove himself to go see her today, which luckily it's inconvenient for one of her daughters who lives down here in the south of Seattle where I live. It's closer to where my dad lives in North Seattle. But he went and he remembered how to get there and he didn't even need help doing you have to sign in on a tablet system, you know, he did it by himself. And I thought, good for you. He didn't get rattled. If he gets rattled, then he spirals a little bit, but he said it was just easy. So
Good.
I think that is a huge relief to me because the anxiety was really, really getting bad. So yeah, I mean, there was a few times like earlier, like beginning of last week, he'd only been on that medication for maybe a week and they said it could take 4 weeks. He called and was talking to my husband and I just don't think she's ever going to get out of that place. You know, sometimes people go into those skilled nursing facilities and they never come out. And I'm like, Dad, what about her makes you think she's not coming out of there?
Doing okay. She just
She's doing great. Well, and he went and saw her today and she was dressed, had her makeup on and, you know,
reassured him too.
Looked a lot stronger. Her walking is still kind of weak because, well, she had bad back. So yeah, anyway, but he is relying on me more and more for things and he is thankful. And I'm so thankful you're here, Kim. So that I'm glad because I thought this could go the other way where he would fight me tooth and nail when push came to shove. And so it's good. It's really good. It's an answer to prayer too, because we've known this was coming for 3 years and so anyway, yeah, I don't have an exciting life like Sarah. I don't get to go hiking or do one of those fun things with my kids.
Well, it was fun, but it was the first time we've really hiked in a long time.
We hiked the other day.
Oh, that's right. We hiked that's right. We hiked on our way to the church that we were visiting. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I heard it was okay. Are we going to do your friend or are we going to do Millie first?
Well, Millie can show first. Want to show
first? Okay.
Show first, but you'll have to put the puppy down. Put him down.
Bye-bye, Teddy.
Well, don't throw him down.
I did.
Fly, Teddy, fly.
Jumped.
Okay.
Well, Millie has a little bit of her whip to show and some haul.
Oh, haul. Okay.
Okay. Why don't you explain what you're doing with this?
This is my
cute fabric.
What's it for?
It's for a bag that I'm gonna make.
This is a birthday present for her. I bought all the fabric and supplies. She really wants to make like this shape. She loves this bag that you gave me.
Oh, the big tote bag.
For my knitting with Rosie's sweater, and she likes it. So we found a sort of similar one.
And
Pattern.
And I'm gonna use this for the outside and this for the.
Oh, that's gonna be cute.
We got interfacing, which I've never really used before. Well, I might have used it once on a project.
It's
Like-
super easy. Did you get the
Yeah.
iron-on?
Yeah, the iron-on kind, and it has directions on it and everything. So
It's it makes such a difference though, and I've talked about that even on
Yeah.
my smalls. It does give it a nice
Yeah.
stiffness,
But I
and
love
especially in the bag.
yeah,
That is so cute. Is it kind of a canvas or is it a cotton? Just a cotton?
it's like whatever that. Yeah, canvasy.
Like a twill or something. Cute,
Yeah.
Millie. That's gonna be so cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. Good tape.
Okay.
And what else?
And I have my cross stitch.
And you have your cross stitch.
Is it the mushroom still?
It is the
Yeah. Cute.
working on it slowly but surely. Not that slowly. Yeah, that's true. Surely you're working on it.
Oh wow. I don't think you had those little guys underneath the big one done, did you?
No, I only have this one's done and this one's this one.
Yeah, but you hadn't even started that other one last time I saw it. You were working on the big one on top, the big white one.
Should last
Yeah,
week.
because
Here you go.
we
I'm gonna
were
hold
like
it up.
playing this one.
Cute.
Yeah, really cute.
Really cute. Good job, Millie.
It does look good. Look at that. Good job.
Super cute.
Love it. It's coming along so
I
good.
like mushrooms.
You like mushrooms? Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
I have a lot of mushrooms.
She went from llamas to toadstools.
Oh,
No, wasn't it all llamas you used to love? No. What was the animal? Oh, sloths. You were sloths.
Sloths. Somebody liked sloths.
And
Millie likes sloths.
and rainbows.
Sloths
I
and
also like
rainbows. They're kind of like a stylish thing too.
Mhm.
Sloths and rainbows and toadstools are all kind of in style right now.
They are.
Yeah.
And llamas.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, honey. It looks great. Hold
Um,
on. Okay.
So we like to feature our friends stitching too. Gives us lots of fun ideas, and we love to celebrate what other people are doing and give you all a chance to celebrate with them, things that they've finished or things that others are working on. So we call that featured friends, and this week our featured friend is Paula Brubaker. I hope I'm saying that right. It might be Brubaker, but I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But we are going to put the picture of Paula's finish right here. Paula said that she's so excited to share this with you. And actually, I didn't give the back note. She had sent this in November along with another finish that she had. And we had shared her progress on it to that point. And now it is finished. So she says, I started this back in the beginning of nope, wrong email. Oh, shoot. That's the wrong email. Let me pull up the right email. That was her old email. This one, her email says, this is a story keep, heaven and earth design called Hometown Hero Firefighter, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, if I'm saying that right. I did this in 3 months' time, 63,000 stitches. This is my second HAID that I have done. I am retired and stitching is what has helped me since my husband passed unexpectedly in May 2020. I worked this on 16 count Aida, and this chart has 89 colors. 63,000 stitches in 3 months. That's a lot.
That's a lot of stitching.
Hey, hang on. I got to do the math. How many stitches that is a day?
I'm super impressed, Paula, and it turned out beautiful. And I'm trying to remember.
It's like almost 700 stitches a day on average, by the way. That's a lot. That's amazing. Well done.
How many a day?
About 700.
Wow.
I mean, give or take. I don't know exactly when it was started and exactly when it was finished, but
Wow,
if she
close
did
enough.
90 days, that's approximately 700 on average.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, Paula.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I don't think that will be me.
It's really beautiful.
It is. Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's a nice, and she did it on an Aida too. So and that must have been nice to stitch on.
Yeah. But yeah,
She said 16 count Aida.
16 count Aida. So the stitch is
Yeah.
probably really nice and
Yeah.
it's good. Are you planning to frame it, Paula, or do you have other plans? I'm assuming you'll probably frame it, but
That needs to be hanging up on a wall, not in a bin of shame.
Like all of my pieces that I haven't finished fully yet. I have a lot of things I need to fully finish.
I just pulled out the basket that had a bunch of them in there, and I'm like, oh.
No.
Mm.
I know I need to.
In that basket right there is 2 that need to be framed.
I have like so many, but
Frames are there and everything.
mine, I don't have frames yet. That's half of what holds me back.
Yeah.
We had a couple comments that I was gonna
Yeah.
answer a couple questions. So one, Norma Jean, just so you know, I did take my blood pressure. I'm doing fine. So thank you for the encouragement to do that.
Ours is not fine.
What?
Mine is not fine.
Your blood pressure? Oh.
Nope. And your dad, they changed his medication to be better, and his is not good.
Ooh.
His went up a lot.
Mm.
And mine might not be. Yeah, mine should just be better. And I didn't take it the 3rd night because I didn't want to deal with it. It had come down a little bit the 2nd night, but Dad's doctor said, well, you need to give this medication a couple more weeks, but if it's not down, da, 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 da. But he kind of freaked out when he saw it because it was like 150 something over. Like it's never that high, ever on his other medications. So anyway, but I'm glad you took yours and it's good.
He's doing fine. I mean, it's not as low as I would like, but it's in normal range. So we're not going to mess around too much with it. So it's
Cool.
Did you get your A1C?
No, no, I haven't. No, I have a doctor appointment in April for the annual, girl checkup, the girl squeeze. And I'll just go in and do my labs then.
And you're going to get that one done.
Well, yeah, it's all included in one big draw.
Last week, though, you said you were going to ask them not to do that.
I know, but I don't think I could really do that. I don't think they would do that. I had to die laughing though. So when I took my dad to the doctor a couple weeks ago, they wanted to check his potassium because he's old. And so I thought, okay, so he went and got his blood drawn, and the blood results started coming in right away. Like that night, he was getting results in his My Chart. So he's calling me. I got another email, so everything was coming out great, right? So I called him. I said, Dad, I just checked your labs, and I said, you're going to be very happy to know that you don't have syphilis and you don't have AIDS. They checked him for those 2. And I'm like,
you get kind of creepy.
He has no symptoms. Why did they need it?
Probably just standard procedure now.
He started dying. He died laughing.
I bet he did. He thought that was funny.
Yeah. I think when I go in to do my stupid labs, I have to get a tetanus shot too.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
I hate that one. That one is the only shot I ever react to. But I will do it. I will. I'm usually a good vaccinator.
Yeah.
Well, not so much.
You just don't want the info.
Not a good labber.
Steph asked about a couple questions about my turkey and cow, so I thought I would answer that. So I shared a video a couple videos ago. At the end, if you didn't see it, you can go back and watch. I think it was 2 weeks ago, of our turkey just gobbling around the yard. So I don't know if I talked about this story. So we have raised turkeys and butchered them ourselves before. We don't love doing it, but I love having the meat. And and they're really cute when they're babies and stuff. So last year I got a couple turkeys. I think a couple of them died I can't remember now. I think a couple of them died when they were little or in the heat over the summer. I think
you lost them to the heat.
We had 3 and 2 died. Thank you, Liddy. But we have this one left. But what I didn't factor in when I bought it is that Jesse's in grad school and we really just didn't have time to butcher it this last fall. So this turkey, Barry, has just lived in with the chickens all
Barry, his name is Barry.
Cranberry, like berry, cranberry. Because they always pick a Thanksgiving kind of food name for our turkeys. The Barry, but all the chickens are out right now. So he's out with them and he just gobbles. So you saw the video if you watched it. He just likes to walk around and he gobbles. And I think he thinks of the flock of chickens as his to protect, even though we also have a rooster, but he's like ancient and doesn't do anything anymore. So Barry is a white-breasted turkey. So he is white. When we got white because they're easier to pluck. When you pluck them, they're not actually easier to pluck, but when you pluck them, their feathers don't have a dark, like shaft, inky kind of shaft that sometimes gets left behind when you have a dark-breasted turkey. Like I forget the other, there's some heirloom breeds. He's not an heirloom breed. He is just bred to be butchered and eaten and not like live in a flock. He's starting to poop in places I would like him to not poop now. And so it's going to be time for him to get in the chopping block probably soon.
Sarah had several turkeys one year. They had like 3 turkeys one year, and we went to visit. My husband had a brand new vehicle, brand new Jeep Cherokee that he had waited forever. He had driven this ancient Ford Explorer that we bought used till it just ran it into the ground. So he finally broke down, bought himself this beautiful Jeep Cherokee, or it's a Latitude. We go to visit Sarah and Jesse and the girls, and the turkeys are free ranging. And
I didn't ever want them to be free ranging, but
they got up on my husband's car, the roof of his car, and then proceeded to poop all over his car to the point where it was running down the sides of the car and the windows. So we got in to go home, and Carrie's like, I can't believe this. So we went through town where Sarah lives, and we went to a car wash, and we pulled up, and it was a car wash. We don't have many like that on our side of the mountains where people actually work at them. Usually ours are just pull in.
We have some like that.
And you just have the machine do it. This wasn't going to cut it. So it was a good thing these guys were there, because we pulled up and they just looked at our car, and you could tell they were like so grossed out. So they kind of pre-sprayed it and kind of, soaked it and scrubbed it. And then we went through the rest of the line, but it was so gross.
I don't know why they did that, because they never did that much on it.
Remember, it was a lot of turkey poop.
This turkey could not fly up to do, like, this turkey stays on the ground. He is so.
They weren't that big yet.
No, it was probably midsummer.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen any of your turkeys when they get to the size that he is. Usually you've butchered them by the time I get over there. He's pretty.
As soon as they're full grown. I know he is really pretty.
He's a pretty little waddler.
He just thinks that he's one of the chickens, I guess. I know, but he does gobble all day, which I would really actually prefer hearing than a rooster crow, which I also don't mind roosters, but sometimes we've had roosters that crow like constantly. So this rooster that we have is so old. He's not crowing. And then she also asked about what we do with our cow.
Oh, your cow.
So what we do when we butcher a cow is we get on a waiting list, if we're lucky, for somewhere that butcher, and then they usually, the ones that we've used, send out a what's the right word? It's not assassin.
A shooter.
A cow assassin. What's the word?
A killer. A cow killer.
No, there's a name for what they do. Anyways,
but okay, I have to tell this story too. The first year they had chickens, they were gonna kill some chickens for the chicken meat, right? And the girls were little. Like, I think Millie was maybe.
I remember doing that we did turkeys.
No, because
we might have had a bunch of extra roosters.
I think you had some extra roosters or something, and the girls were tiny. Like Liddy was maybe 4 and Millie was maybe 2 and was just starting to talk. And so we went over there to see them for the weekend, and we had our son Sam with us because he was in high school still. And so they'd been YouTubing how to kill these chickens and drain them and all that.
We're way better at it now than we were then.
Yeah, and they. And to the girls, these are like little pets running around out there, right?
But they were starting to yeah, that's right. Because they were starting, we had gotten some straight run. So if you get straight run chicks, it means they're not sexed. And so you're likely to get 50% roosters. And you got a lot of roosters. I don't remember why we did that. I can't remember.
They had them hanging up on the clothesline. Yeah. But I made some comment. The guys came in the house and I said, "Do you chicken killers?" And little Millie, I think it was Millie, she turns around and little chubby cheeks, "You chicken killer, you chicken killer."
Chicken killer.
Chicken killer.
Yeah, we haven't really done chickens since, because they're not really worth it unless you get meat birds and you really plump them up. Yeah. You don't get that. It's cheaper.
They're kind of scrawny.
Chickens at Costco, but turkeys are usually way more meat. Like, when you think how big he is, he's going to be a ton of meat if we do it.
Well, yeah, if you let him grow for a year.
I know, we didn't really mean to do that, but
yeah.
Anyway, so and the person comes out and is very efficient when they come to assassinate the cow. I still can't think of the word. What is it called? End his life. Yeah. What? Slaughterer. The guy who does the slaughtering. He does the slaughterer. Yeah. He comes out. This is amazing, actually. If you ever get a chance and you're not too squeamish to watch this process, I actually haven't actually seen it done, but I've heard about it over and over. And Jesse's watched him. They come out with a truck that has all the equipment. In fact, it has like a hanging rod. So they can like literally hang the cow after they shoot it and drain the blood into like something usually. I think they usually just do it onto the ground. Maybe they do. And then they just
hack away.
Do you remember if they quarter it here? She doesn't know. She probably hasn't seen it either. Jesse would know because sometimes, and I think they might do it differently. It's like sometimes they might just take it and then do all the rest of it at the butcher shop. But they'll just boom, boom, boom. It's done. They do usually like eviscerate it, so they'll leave the innards out, and it's just fast, and it's really actually quite humane. And so that's what and then they take it to the butcher shop. We tell them how we want it cut. Then we get the meat. We pick it up, pay for it, put it in the freezer. So you can tell them, I want this many pounds of ground beef, this many rib, divide it up this way. And that's been nice. So we have one that will be ready in a year. He's not close enough to being ready to butcher yet, but I'm running low on beef, so that's hard. But we got to get on the wait list for maybe by the end of this year. Maybe
how old is he?
He'll be a year in the summer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's not very old. He's still not huge. He'll get bigger.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a lot of chit chat about things, but those were just a few questions that I thought.
Thank you for the sweet comments, though.
Yeah.
Everybody, sweet comments, and we do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because we're feeling a little boring these days.
I told my mom, told her, I was like, I feel like I'm kind of a boring Flosstuber. Like, I don't have that much time to do much other than just stitch and show what I have. Like I guess we participate in the challenges and stuff, but I'm not like,
yeah.
But thank you for your sweet comments.
Thank you for sticking with us boring people.
You can't think of it.
Well, what do you got?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So this week was the magazine monthly group had a pop-up event called Spring into Action, where you stitched 5 hours or 500 stitches on one project, one whip that's your closest to being finished. So we talked about that last week, and we both had said what we were going to work on. So I chose this. This is probably the majority of what I really worked on this week.
It was 5 hours or 500 stitches.
Yeah. So I worked 5 hours on her. I could show where I was. It might be kind of fun because I did take a picture. Let me show you where it was before when I started it. So this is
tomorrow. Does it end tomorrow? Does this end tomorrow?
I'm not sure, but I finished my goal, so I kind of don't know. So I hadn't done the bottom of the hem, the skirt. There was some background stitching I hadn't done. So I finished the whole hem.
Wow, look at that.
Back stitching. Those wings were not very fun to back stitch, but I got those done. And there's a lot of different colors and directions for the back stitching.
Yeah.
So I'm just working.
Beautiful though.
1 through 25.
Beautiful. Sorry, I was looking for the whip go pull.
Here on random.org's random number generator.
Sorry, I don't want to hear her talk. Sorry. I just realized that the new whip go call would have come.
Yeah, I need to finish. That's going to be in my goals. So I did meet my spring into challenge goal.
Good for you.
And then I had chosen for one of my magazine monthly goals, I was going to start and work on my little needle roll.
Your little guy.
I really wish they would post they would have a picture of it flat, because their directions for some of the details are not clear. I mean, there's just a lot of different, like this snowman over here that you can't see is around the other bend. I had a question about something on him. I can't remember what it was now. And I was like, well, I wish there was a picture where I could actually see it, but here's where I got to. So I finished all of the cross stitching and
so cute.
back
you didn't.
I got the little mittens all done and backstitched.
Uh-huh.
I am just gonna finish across these backstitched. They're like little snowflakes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Cute.
Looking at this, feeling like there's too much space between those, but I'm pretty sure I counted it right.
Maybe there's more space between the last one, the first and last ones of the row, and the ones next to them. Is
Maybe
there a bigger space?
I wouldn't be able to tell from the stinking picture because those would be the ends in the back. I'm gonna look really quick because I'm a little worried now that I 1, 2, 3 left too much. No, I did. There is a little bit of extra space on the ends. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's not
So
perfectly.
that it'll be symmetrical. But I think these guys are so cute with their
They
little.
are really cute. They turned out really
They're my
cute.
favorite though.
Yeah.
And I feel like I must have maybe miscounted. I don't know. These weren't lining up exactly the way the pattern said.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna, yeah, let me tell you. So there will be a bead in between every 2 of these. So a bead here and a bead here. So it will look kind of like a little flower with leaves on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I was worried about ending this and having a extra cross hanging out there. So I'll finish that when I do the beading.
Cute.
Make sure the bead's all in it.
Yeah.
And then I only worked on one other thing, which is crazy because the last few weeks I've had.
Yeah.
But I've been working a lot on my robin. Wait, where's the piece? This is the piece I'm working on. I guess I need to get my April stuff put together here really
Oh, I
soon.
have your 2 threads here too.
Ooh.
I need to send those to you.
Okay, so that's what it will look like. And this is what it currently looks like.
Wow, Sarah, you're bumming along on that one.
That this month. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Now it's just fill in with that darker brown color.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Really easy. And that's everything I did, but I was just enjoying working on that fill in. It's easy and mindless.
Yeah, that's nice when you get to that point.
I have some knitting. I have been trying so hard to get this sweater done for Rosie, but every time I do a longer length, I feel like surely she just grew more because then I need to add more length. I'm like,
you do?
I added length to where we wanted it last week.
She grow?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, she must have grown an inch or something because it was still not long enough. I was like, well, I know I added. Okay, so I went ahead and got some.
You know what? My Hobby Lobby's yarn was really picked over too, and they're redoing that store too. I said, "Where's all your?" Because the cross stitch stuff was kind of empty. She goes, "Yeah, they're making us rearrange the store. We don't even know where we're going to be putting everything." I thought, "Oh, great."
Ugh. Well, I hope they decrease their stock. I went ahead and got this from Hobby Lobby. It's one of their hand dyed, yarns that are coming to Hank. It's not coming through really well, but it's a pale kind of.
I can see it. I can see some flex in it.
Yeah, with some blue flex. And I'm doing the bottom hem a little longer with that. And then I'll add that to the bottoms. I did a garter stitch and then a stockinette and garter. I'm going to do a few more rows of stockinette. And then I think I need to add another garter stitch band. Because she wants it long, like down, half past her butt.
Oh, well, that's why. It's not a little cropped Cardi.
Yeah, she didn't want it cropped. She wants it kind of long, which that's her. She likes her things kind of long like that. I just felt like surely now I'll be able to cast off and start the sleeves. I was like, Rosie, I really want to finish this for you, but you're making it hard for me to finish. But I thought that pink turned out okay. The blue flecks in it matched the blue in the. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it looks great. I think it looks great.
Just really pale blue flecks. You can kind of see in there. So that is everything I worked on.
That's all you worked on? Oh.
That's what all I worked on.
Well, I told Sarah I didn't have a whole lot either. But part of that's because I was doing the pop-up challenge. So I had chosen, it was a freebie by Stitching Book Club.
Crazy hair. Look at all these weird flyaways I got.
And it's Blackbird Singing in the Dead of Night. We talked about it last week. So this is what it is. It's a freebie on her Instagram page, clear down to June, I think, of 2020. Hold on. So I had all of the words and everything done, but I had only done about that much of his head.
A lot of
I did all of that. I actually probably worked on this 6 hours. I kind of just got in the zone and wanted to work as long as I could. So anyway, this
Wow.
is black anchor, anchor black on, I think it's called Murky.
Yeah,
And I'm basically copying
Not
Gail. Huh?
not Gothic.
Oh, no, I think it's Gothic. You're right. I don't know why I got
Murky
Murky.
has more of a greeny.
Gray. Yeah, green gray. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's Gothic.
Yeah, I think.
And basically I'm just copying Gail from Gail's Golden Meal because I loved her finish on it. I think if you
Just
watch
words,
her,
or is there a border at the bottom? I can't remember.
there is a little border. There's some
Oh,
little
okay.
Quaker thing,
Oh, I see. So you
and
saw
just that little bit of border, and then just a black. So it won't take long. And if you watch her Flosstube, I think if you look behind her, it's sometime on the shelf. It's sometimes behind her on the shelf.
That's pretty. It turned out really pretty.
Yeah. So anyway, I was really happy. I want to keep working. I might make this my 25/7 piece, which I've kind of slowed down on, but I need to get back to that. So because I'd like to get it done. And then I realized that I really hadn't worked on my a lot of my magazine monthly goals because I was working, just kind of got in the zone with my Quakers. So my goal is to work on my Quakers, my seasonal Quakers, 8 hours a month. So I'm working on spring because it's spring. So previously I had done this and I did part of that. Okay, but now I
It's interesting
have,
to me that it's not kind of pastel-y.
huh?
It's so interesting to me that it's not more
Yeah,
pastel.
it's not very pastel-y. The
Right.
summer one is.
Yeah.
So I basically finished that whole motif and started that one.
That's good. Cute.
Yeah, it's more reds and greens and more richer, deeper colors. I really like it. I didn't always think I liked the spring one that much, but I do. It has grown on me. I do want to have all of them done at some point. So that got worked on, and then I worked on my Whitfield piece, which I just looked, by the way. She has called the new numbers.
Well, why am I only seeing the March one?
You have to scroll down into the body of the.
Oh, okay. 4, 5, and 17.
Yeah. Okay. So my WIPCO call was Hawk Run Hollow, and I have 2 Hawk Run Hollows going, and I gave myself the freedom to choose one or the other whenever this one was called. And so I had been working on the Christmas one. What is wrong with my hair? And I chose to pull out a year at Hawk Run Hollow. So I'm still working on this part of this first square.
Nice.
Not very clear.
It's when old link. It's old links on. Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Would old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? So I basically did, my goal is 2 hours on this.
Oh,
My
wow.
goals are 2 hours.
Oh,
And
nice.
I did more than 2 hours because I did all of his coat and I started his pants.
Nice. He's cute.
Yeah. So that's got a lot of my time. I'm just kind of, yeah, I just didn't find myself working on a couple of different things each evening. I kind of just stuck with one thing.
One that night, and
Yeah. And then I think the only other thing I really worked on, and I did knit one night, but not enough to really, you wouldn't really see a lot of difference because it's just that cowl that I'm working on. But so my calendar piece, I thought, I need to work on my March. I haven't worked on it at all, hardly. I mean, I did a little bit.
yeah.
So I'm doing all of the Pine Mountain designs on one piece of fabric. And so this is the March piece. That's not focusing very well tonight.
Yeah, it's like focusing on your
There it
tail.
goes.
Yeah.
So I had done the kite.
Uh-huh.
And then now I have the clouds done. I finished the clouds last night.
Oh, nice.
And did all the border. Well, I
Nice.
had a little bit of border done and started over here.
Uh-huh.
So now I'll start the lion over there.
I love the lion with his.
I know. I love those colors. So that is all. I mean, that really is all. And then part of last night was spent when I would have been stitching, kitting up a project.
Oh yeah.
So I basically am done with my WIPCO for that WIPCO piece, and I'm done with my Quakers for March. I got 8 hours in. I have a half hour left to go on my other WIPCO, which is hoity-toity. I think I have just a half hour.
Okay.
And then I need to work on, I didn't start my shepherd's bush ornament, which I give myself 2 months to do one ornament.
Mhm.
And I need to work 2 more hours on patchwork ate,
Mhm.
3 more hours on trick or treat fairy.
Mm.
Actually, I think I worked another hour on her. I think I only have 2 hours to go. Spring Quaker, I've met that goal. And then that Pine Mountain, I'll just work on that as much as I feel like it.
Mhm.
Because I'm like Sarah, if I don't finish each month this year, I'll go back and make that my focus still next year. Because Sarah's doing all the cottage garden sampling.
The year in.
Yeah.
What is that?
Year in the Woods. Isn't it a Year in the Woods?
No, I think that's their other one. Why do I always forget what this one's called?
Oh man, I got a little snow rain mix going on out there.
Oh, crazy! This one, this series is A Time for All Seasons.
Yes, that's
Year
what it
in
is.
the Woods, I think, is the next year they did.
Yeah. So I'm not pushing myself real. I mean, I want to get these done as close to possible, but if I don't, it's okay because I've got other goals like the Quakers and the ornaments that I want to do too. So that's so my goals are going to be to work on those magazine monthly pieces.
Mhm.
I think what happened was I spun my wheel a few times thinking I would work on those, and they're not always ones that are on my magazine monthlies. I need to not spin my wheel till I've met some of my goals, I think, each month.
Yeah. Or choose one of your pieces and then work on
Yeah.
it.
Do an
Yeah.
hour on it or whatever. So I don't usually have real crazy. I never have more than 4 hours assigned to any of those pieces. Sometimes I only put 3.
Yeah.
So yeah. What is your plans?
I need to do my Snow Queen with Go, which is also on my magazine monthly board. So I need to do 4 hours on her this month. And she's one of the April ones too that just got called. So, but I don't have to worry about that. So I need to do 4 hours on Snow Queen. And then I just have 2 more hours to work on my bookshelf piece. And probably an hour of that will be ripping back. So, and then the next hour will be
Haven't
putting.
done that yet.
No, I've just put it off. So those are the 2 things I need to work on. And then I think I'm all caught up on my Whip Go.
All right.
Up through, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yes. And then really trying to get this sweater done, but I mean, it's still a ways away, but I'd like to at least, I should be able to have the whole hemline done by the end of this coming week. And then I can hopefully start on the sleeves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think once you get in the sleeves, and you're
Thanks.
just going around and around and around and around.
I did decide though, I think I was needing something kind of fresh and different. So I did cast on a hat. Like I just cast on something different for myself and decided I was going to do a little Fair Isle hat
Yeah.
myself just when I need a break or when I want to work on something different. So wait, where's the, oh, so this is the main color and I think I'm going to do a pattern in with this color
Uh-huh.
or maybe, and this green. I'm not sure. Kind of a
Pretty.
fallish. I don't have anything that color, but I do wear this color quite a bit. I like that color, that
Yeah.
orange, dark burnt orangey.
You have a coat that it'll go with? Your gray coat?
Yeah, my gray coat. I have a teal jacket. It would look really cute with that kind of bright teal jacket. I have a yellow raincoat. It would look cute with that. My beigey coat. Yes. I think that's all my coats. So those are my plans. Just finish up my monthly and probably start putting together my April magazine monthly plus my April.
Oh yeah. Have you looked that one up yet?
Nope, I haven't looked that up yet.
My WIPCO I just pulled my WIPCO. It is, you're gonna love it.
Is it Gathering Eggs?
Gathering Eggs and what was the other number? 17.
It's 5 and
Quakers.
16.
My Quakers. So that'll be good. I can kind of knock that off. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, that works out well.
See what magazine monthlies
Yeah, here, let's see. I'm trying to pull that up, but
April. Here we go. View file.
Library and shelves.
Shelves. Okay.
Oh, easy. I'll do the bookshelf as my theme piece. Oh, that's not a magazine piece, but that's okay.
Well, there's a V in there, so you know what that's going to be for me. My my vintage sewing girl, because now my Vivaldi girls are done because they're hanging up there still.
I don't know what B will be for me.
Hanging off my
Out there.
yeah, so gathering eggs and Quaker. And library and shelves. Okay, I gotta, yeah.
Mine is
We got off easy last, well, I did, because I only picked the word Etsy, so I didn't have that many.
my WIPCO is Snow Queen again, and my dimensions the Valley of the River back.
Oh, you'll love that.
Working on that actually.
You'll love that. I do have another, I maybe may start a couple things.
Are you?
Because I haven't for a while.
Have you finished anything? Well, you finished Vivaldi. You got
I did. So I talked about this piece a couple weeks ago because who was it? Gail, I think it's Gail, and somebody else is doing Rosewood Manor tree one.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I think, yeah, I have a tree one. Well, I have an older tree one, and it's this one, which is insane. And it's big, and there's like 50 colors in this thing. You wouldn't think there were 50 colors in there, but there is. But I love it. I absolutely love this. I don't know why. I love trees. I don't know why I love trees, but I love trees.
Yeah.
Only I told Sarah, I only do the border up here. I don't think I'm going to do all the words around and around and around. I don't think it's necessary, because really you've got your autumn trees here. No, spring. Yeah. Spring. And you have spring trees, summer. I don't need all that. I mean, it's not just because I hate borders, but I just don't, and I don't know if I'm gonna, in between all the trees, it has the word of the season, like spring, and different letterings. I might do some of those. We'll see. So I did, so this is part of my haul. I bought fabric. I just bought a very generic ivory. They called for a color. They don't even make that anymore because that's such an old pattern. And I'm gonna do it on a 32 count Lugana.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing an even weave. And then but what I did was I put all my, it's such a big piece that I put all my flosses and flossaways last night. So that took me probably about an hour while I was watching TV with Dad. That would have been stitching time that I didn't stitch, but I'm kind of looking forward to this. And then the other piece is a piece that was a market piece last year. It was an exclusive from Plum Street. And I always loved it. And I saw that Aunt Nancy was working on it, and somebody else they were commenting back and forth. I thought I had already kitted that up, and I really do want to start it. And so it is the Plum Street. This is the day.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of in the plastic still, but
that house is going to give you fits. I only speak from experience because it looks like my Hawk Run Hollow border of that windowsill.
So but I've been looking at it, and I'm not so sure. I told Sarah, so over here, you can't see it very well, but there's a couple of goats and a bird stacked up, and there's a ram here, and I don't really understand the flying ram. So I think I might take this butterfly and transpose it and have a butterfly going up that way.
But leave the goats and the bird.
Yeah, I'll leave these guys. Those make sense. The flying guy.
That's a sampler kind of touch right there.
Have we talked about my love for samplers?
Oh, that's funny. No, the butterfly will look nice there.
I think so. It's such, and the colors are just so beautiful in this. I mean, the picture is vibrant, but then when you see them being worked on. And I had already bought the fabric for this a while ago. I did pick, Nancy is doing it on a darker. And I asked Denise at Threadneedle what this was. And it says Weiger, because I don't have the label for it. I think it's a flax. I think she said it was flax. And I think that'll be fine. I did, the white parts in here call for ecru and grits. And I wasn't sure I was going to like that so much. So I did buy B5200 because the other colors are so saturated that I really want the white to show up. There's a lot of, you can't see it, but there's smoke curls through here. You can kind of see them.
Yeah, it's kind of
not very well. So I might start that this week too. Just give it a start. I figure, I'm going to have time to work on all these someday, really, in earnest. Maybe. I mean, I'm looking at the rest of my year, and my stitching time really probably it's going to definitely be from now until next fall, at least, probably less than I Well, yeah, it'll come in spits, but like we're gonna take a 2-week trip. I'm not a trip cross stitcher. I mean, I might cross stitch in a hotel room, but not when I'm not socially. I'm a knitter, so 2 weeks in May we'll have very little stitching done, and then the push for our move. But anyway, and then I did buy. I've never seen these, Sarah. These are so adorable. It's a Jardin Privé Wicker de la Hivar.
Neat.
And it's seasonal, and there's 4 of these, and I've never seen anybody stitch these.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
seen these on this
one.
1, 2, 3 stitch. Thought about them.
Oh
before.
my gosh. And so the fall one is done in kind of a green brown. You can see them here, they're all lined up.
Oh, all together, that would be
So
pretty.
this is winter. Winter's kind of in a
I like
bluey
them all
gray.
together on the same fabric. Ooh.
Yes. And what is that called?
Texture.
Like that, what threads? It calls for a dark blue DMC 3768. So that I think they're all just one color. And so the fall one is in a brownish brown, and then the summer's in a red, a rusty red, and then the spring one is in a green.
Think how pretty it would be with like a slightly variegated, like a silk or not
Yeah.
silk, but like what are those? Oh,
Mrs. Sadis?
yes, Mrs. Sadis.
Yeah.
Like
For
where
each one
there's
of
just a kind of gentle variation. Oh, that'd be beautiful. I'm
But
thinking.
aren't they so cute? I
Mhm.
really liked this. I had never seen these
I like
ever.
them too. I have seen them individually when because
Mhm.
I like Jardin Privé so much that I've looked on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and I've seen those, but I've never seen them all like lined up or in a row together, which I love. That's really pretty.
Oh, I'm not sure. They're kind of big.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, like each one.
I feel like it would maybe be the size of my huge.
Because I think this one alone is 100 by 180.
Hmm.
So if you've got 180 4 times, yikes.
500, 600.
Leaving, okay, so here she says, if you leave an empty interval of 5 points between each season, the set of 4 patterns measures 415 by 180 points. That's points, holes,
Probably squares. Yeah, probably.
stitches. 415 by 180. That
So
doesn't make sense to me. If one of them is 180, 180 high.
Yeah. So it's
She has it reversed.
ah.
I always think of, anyway, yeah, good catch, Kim. But anyway, I bought that because I really like that. That might be a focal piece next winter, maybe start good seasons
That'd be pretty.
and stop doing monthly, or finish up the monthly that I'm doing now and work on a seasonal piece alongside it.
The other thing that would be kind of fun with that piece like that would be to stitch them together. Like do them each on a slightly different colored fabric. And then
Oh, and then stitch them.
I mean, I've seen people do something
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
then choose coordinating, but
Yeah,
different colors for each one.
I just love it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
My other haul, this was one of the first market pieces I saw this year that I thought I really wanted to buy. And Denise at Thread Needle is getting some of these in, and it was the honey of a tiny town.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I just love the colors in that.
That is cute.
And I have it,
drum.
huh?
I love them done up in a drum. I need to finish.
I think I'm going to try the drum. I have the 4th of July one. Actually, there's so many of these cute tiny towns.
Really fun.
And then I kind of splurged. What happened was we got our Costco rebate. We get a rebate, and Carrie just cashed it out rather than putting it towards the groceries. We'd already paid for our groceries. And I said, well, do I get half of that? So he handed me cash. So I went and bought another shepherd's bush needle roll because I have this. I was going to start this spring one.
Yeah.
Which I haven't started yet, but I still do want to. Is that one?
Yes. That's the one you had already bought.
Yeah, I bought this when I was with you at Christmas time. But I bought it's called this one is where's the word? We'll call it Violet. I think it's Violet. But why doesn't it say that? Where did I see Violet? Oh, it's Violets.
Oh, pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
It's on a slightly mauve colored fabric. It does not color.
Lace.
Yeah, I like the ones with the lace that you stitch on.
Me too.
Then
Yeah.
you put the buttons along it.
That's pretty.
I have several of these needle rolls. I have a generic gardening one, and I have a pine one that I did for my mom that I took back, and I have a Thanksgiving one. And I thought, I like to have this little mini tiered tray on my coffee table, and it doesn't have a lot of room for a lot of tiny smalls in it, but I have a Biscornu tucked in it right now, but I thought, it'd be fun to be able to tuck these in seasonally. So that was my haul. My other haul was, this came in the mail. My first time.
Merry
Sarah gave me this for my birthday, the subscription.
Is there anything in it that you flipped through that you really liked?
There was a couple things. I was going to flag it and I forgot to stick a sticky note. Actually, Priscilla and Chelsea's is kind of cute. It's a seasonal row.
Oh yeah, that looks like them. That's cute.
I'm sorry, my lighting is so bad today. We need to get I have twinkle lights hanging from my blinds in here, so I can't pull the blinds down. This is by Lucy Beam, and it's on the cover, and I thought it was really pretty. And it says, "Friends are the flowers of life."
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that pretty? Got kind of a glare, but there we go. But I'm trying to think if there was one other. What's this? Kitten stitcher. Oh, a sampler. There's a what's this? Stitching Bear hopping down the bunny trail.
Oh,
Kind of a rustic looking little bunny, little carrots.
yeah, that's cute.
Isn't that cute? Yeah, I was happy because the last issue that I got didn't have anything that really grabbed me. This one did. I was hoping there was going to be another one of those etchings in here.
Yeah, I know I need to get that floral edging.
Let me see if there's another. Lindy Stitches had one in here. You're the bee's knees. kind of funny little bee.
Little guy.
Let me see, double check. There's, it's half punch needle and half.
Yeah.
Lana Pfeiffer has a tutorial as always in here. What's her tutorial? What's she doing? I guess just showing you how to make a flat fold.
Whoa.
Which I watched her video because I couldn't do it off of
A written direction.
Yeah, Barbara Anna has one, and I love it's called Spring Parade, and I love the dandelions, but I don't really love the little people. They look more fallish than spring. But I love those dandelions.
Yeah, the dandelions are amazing.
They're pretty. Yeah. She's got another one coming out, though, a bigger one. So I'm looking forward to that. See what that is. Not a SAL. So that's kind of the main ones. Yeah. So that was fun mail. I've been kind of waiting for it to come because people I saw online were getting theirs. There was a glitch. I told Sarah with their shipping. So apparently the addresses were printed right, but they got attached to the wrong name. So I was afraid that if my mailman saw this come to somebody else's name, I wouldn't get it, but I did because we don't have a mailman that's that smart.
Or cares that much.
Yeah.
I got that fabric and stuff from Millie as a birthday gift. So that's her haul. And then I had gotten that pink yarn, but their yarn was 30% off. So
That's pretty.
So I thought, I'll get another skein. It's weight 1, so it's like a fine.
Really fine. Like a fingering weight?
Well, 2 is what I usually think of. Like 1 is usually like a lace weight, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm using for Rosie's sweater. I don't know. I need to find the label for hers and see if they had a thicker one. But this is called Seraphine C, and I don't know if they're going to discontinue it. I don't know what Hobby Lobby's doing with their yarn right now.
Yeah, because that was the section in my store that was totally wiped out, was these ones.
These ones, yeah, same here. So I was like, are you guys about to stop carrying these? Because I love, because I don't have a local yarn store. I have to drive an hour to a yarn shop.
Yeah.
I often will run into Hobby Lobby, and I felt like so excited when they had these beautiful hand-dyed ones come out, and I've used them several times, and they're soft. They're alpaca. No, is this alpaca?
I don't remember, but
Sometimes
they're nice.
they're alpaca. This is merino. But anyways, so I thought, I don't know how this will, like, I don't know how this will stripe or how the
It'll
pattern
be
will.
interesting, won't it? Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to plan what to do with it. I might just do like a shawl or something
Uh-huh.
lacy, and that's all my health. I didn't get
Pulling out gathering eggs.
Yay!
That's where I'm at. I got that whole ruffle to go.
Gonna look good.
They'll be amazed.
Mine.
This is like, I think once I made working copies and wasn't trying to work off the magazine,
That made
so
it
much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier. But
It'll be
anyway. Yeah,
we have a giveaway.
we do. This was another market piece that got released that I kind of caught my eye, but I thought, oh, I got the Honey of a Tiny Town for me, but I got this one for one of you by Heart and Hand. It's called a honey of a frill. And I think it is so
cute. So if you would like a chance to get your name drawn to win this, use the word honey in your comment down below. And then on our next video, I will draw honey. That's
anyway, I thought that was so cute. It was fun to see some of the market releases coming in. I'm super, super excited about this. The more I look at it, the more excited I get about it.
really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. My reading has been.
Aww.
I started that book though that your friend told you about.
I did too.
Did you?
I got
And
an
that's
audiobook through my library, and I'm 2 hours in already.
And it's not that I don't like it. I just haven't really made time to read. I've kind of been.
This is the book we're talking about, A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin. And it is like a Bridgerton, a clean Bridgerton. Like it has the same feel. And I loved the costumes, and I love London and the season. So I think that's really fun. I liked that about Bridgerton. It was witty and fun, and the characters were I just like some of the sex stuff. But
I didn't watch Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's a little much. But this
seemed like a soap opera from that era or something. That's what I always felt like it was.
Yeah.
A dirty soap. The
plot was fun. The story was great. The characters were really interesting, and it was all fun. But there was just a little element that was like just too much for me.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad
this is not like that. This has been so far. I'm 32% of the way through, and so far, it's been good. The premise is this young woman has 4 sisters. Her parents both have died, and they're going to lose their home and all these things. And what kind of avenue is open for a young lady to provide for her family if she's not married, but to find a rich husband? So,
and she was jilted at the very beginning.
She's jilted at the very beginning, but we don't really know why. She just maybe money or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that a lot. I've been listening to that.
Okay, I'll try to get more reading done in it.
And what else were we reading? Excuse me, I'm tired after our hike. I'm still reading David Copperfield. Oh, I've started reading this book. It's called How the Heather Looks. And I'm reading it because it's going to be one for Liddy for school, but it is so fun. It is a story-based book, like narrative style, of a mom with kids, like a toddler and maybe a young boy. I don't know how old the son is. And she and her husband are both like half British, their parents came from England to the US. And they
Sorry.
So they raise their kids on the same kind of books I have, fairy tales and Beatrix Potter and Winnie the Pooh and all those things. And they decided to take a trip to England and go to places where those authors were and see if they could kind of live in the experience of what that world was like.
Oh, fun. So
it was really fun. So there's a chapter on Beatrix Potter. There's a chapter on, so it's kind of a travel type journal through England describing things. But it turns out that there's like real places in a lot of these illustrators or authors' books, even like Wind in the Willows, that's totally fanciful in some of the illustrations and stuff. Yeah. It's anyway, so I don't know for Liddy, but I'm actually really
when you talked about there's real places, it triggered. I was flipping through, I think Amazon Prime, looking for something to watch one night, and there was a documentary on the making of Fiddler on the Roof, the movie Fiddler on the Roof, and the Broadway play to start with, because Chaim Topol just died. Well, they didn't make it because he had just died, but I think it came up because it's newsworthy because he's just died. And I didn't really know much about him. I was shocked when I realized that he was quite young when he played Tevye. They aged him 30 years and put a bunch of weight on him. He was actually a really good looking guy.
Yeah.
And I love that musical. I actually kind of want to watch it. I haven't watched it, but I never really put two and two together that Anativka, where they're being forced out of, is in Ukraine. And it's an actual place in Ukraine. It's a little village. And at the end of this documentary, they actually go to that village and they do kind of a Fiddler on the Roof style wedding for somebody there in this little village and kind of show it there. But it was really interesting. And I didn't realize that musical was based off of these writings by this Jewish author about life. And I don't know, they weren't real clear about I didn't catch all the time who he was, but the making of that musical for Broadway first took years and years. They just kind of worked on it kind of part-time, and the two guys were writing one was writing the music, one was writing the lyrics, and they weren't even in the same city all the time. And then they had to and then the guy that choreographed it, Jerome Robbins, famous choreographer, but I guess super hard to work with, but like excellent, right? But do you know the scene in the movie where he's singing "If I Were a Rich Man"?
Oh yeah.
And he's up on the roof of the in the barn, up in the rafters, and he's and he's doing it louder. He in this documentary, he says, I had the worst toothache that day, and there was nobody on staff that could come give me Novocaine or anything, and I was in so much agony, like for 1 or 2 days while they shot that scene over and over again. And I thought, how'd you do that? Because I've had tooth pain, man, and I ain't singing.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you like the musical, it'd be you might really like the documentary about it. And they interviewed different Topols from Broadway and one of the girls, and they really were talking about. And I don't think ever really paid attention to what the time frame was. This was like the early, like 1900s or something, and really how these girls of his were really, really breaking all the social norms, and how he goes with the first two, but that third one where she marries outside the faith, he just couldn't do it, you're dead to me kind of thing. But that it really was a testament to these girls realizing that they don't want that life of a matchmaker, and matchmakers really weren't all that great anyway, I guess. So anyway, side note, but it was good. It was a good thing, but there really is it's kind of fun to read or find out that these places really are real. And I would love to go see some of those places in Britain.
Me too. That's
like where Beatrix Potter lived. I would love to go there.
I know. Yeah, that would be cool. And that book has been really fun to read, because she kind of really paints it so that you feel like you're on the journey with them, which has been really fun.
I've never heard of that book. Is it like an young adult book?
I don't know. It's in the curriculum we use.
Yeah.
Like for the seventh, for middle schoolers to read, because it's not at a hard level for reading.
Yeah.
But it's called How the Heather Looks.
How the Heather Looks.
Yeah. It's by Joan Bodger. I don't know if she's ever written anything else or what. I had never heard of this book either, but the back of it says some quote like, the #1 book stolen by librarians on retirement or something like that. Like,
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I can see that. It's really it's about books and reading and celebrating these children's authors and illustrators, and
were kind of groundbreaking at the time, because there wasn't really a lot of children's literature.
Yeah, it's been really fun to read. I'm also reading a book that I gave Liddy called The School for Whatnots, and it's okay. It's a middle grade, middle grade type reader. She really liked it, and I feel like it's fun. It's okay. It's not the best writing I've ever read, but it's fun. I'm enjoying reading it because I know we'll talk about it, and the plot is interesting.
The plot's interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
We haven't really watched anything. I know.
we watched that movie that you were talking about, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. The
I
girls
want to watch it again.
Jesse went to go see some guy movie last night in the theaters with some guys, so we had a lot of fun watching that.
Do the girls like it?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So
She's
now I
such
want to rewatch it with Jesse because I think he'll like it too.
Yeah, I know Dad kind of had tears even.
I know. Yeah.
She's such a plucky little thing.
Want to do life and do the next great thing.
I know, like, but she doesn't really mean to be so, you know what I mean? Like, she's kind of clueless as to what she's doing and the power she has over people.
If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account,
Shoot.
for free, so you can go watch it, and you should because it's really good and very heartwarming and sweet.
Yeah, I haven't seen a movie that made me feel that good afterwards in a long time.
The only thing in it is when she goes to that club. Do you remember that scene where she goes to that club?
Oh, the burlesque club.
Woo! Okay, guess we're doing this.
I forgot about that scene.
The girls didn't really care. I mean, it was fine. It was like
they're kind of burlesque.
Yeah, kind of burlesque.
1950s.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Sorry, honey.
That's okay. It was not a big deal. But just be warned if you're watching it with kids, you might want to just.
They're not naked, but they're skimpily dressed.
They have like tassels coming off of a very sort of strategic.
There are a couple
female anatomy.
twirling tassels.
The girls didn't even get phased. They're just like, okay, answers.
Look at that kind of modern dancing.
Weird costume. Okay.
Fast forward. It's not a very long scene either.
No, and they're kind of like they are featured, but they're also kind of in the background. Like it's not.
And they start off more fully clothed and then all of a sudden they're not.
They're not. That's literally the only thing I can think of that was even questionable in the whole.
And I was really hoping that the ending would end the way it did because it was just the only satisfying ending there could be.
Yeah, it was really sweet. So
yeah.
If you haven't, we won't give anything more away.
No.
Well,
no.
All right.
I don't have anything else.
We should probably go.
Yep. We're going over to Austin and Kelly's for dinner tonight.
Oh, fun. Oh, that sounds nice.
I'm late. That's okay. He said they weren't really ready to go yet anyway.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go so you can go do that. But
yeah.
Jean and joining us.
Yeah. Hope you got some stitching done while we rambled on.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Just looking for the big baggies.
Santa keeps coming in.
Hi, Dad.
All
right. Well,
The big baggies are in there somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay.
we are recording, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, all of a sudden I got nervous because the little dot wasn't where I thought it was.
It's recording in front. I mean, I see.
What if we just did this whole thing and then it didn't record?
It's happened to people.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
Thankfully not us, but probably next time now.
I was gonna see if I had anything fun to send you to put at the end. I'll send you a few.
Okay. So stay tuned after the credits, whatever you call those things.
The credits.
I have to give credits for the music at least. So anyway, well, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great week and happy stitching.
Happy stitching.
Bye-bye.